ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, March 19th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Yay! Had a wonderful, wonderful time last night with Ruth Sanderson. She was, just a delightful guest, and I hope that you were able to make it in. She was so much fun. We actually ended up talking for 3.5 hours with her. So it was pretty involved, but you know what? Learned a lot. Oh my gosh, that woman is such a prolific author, excuse me. And she had just so much insight for us. Okay, so announcements. Tuesday, March 23rd. Hello, Lila, at 7 p.m. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Is Melba Carter is coming in. She is a wonderful, wonderful instructor, and I can't wait for her to come in. And also, guys, don't forget that that's the day that Dawn's contest ends, so you need to get your entries in for the Williamsburg. So do that, and there is a file folder in specifically for that, so use that. Thursday, March 25th, Jeff Haney's coming in, and he's going to be actually coloring one of his images with standard pencils, markers, whatever, and he tells me that he has never colored any of his images before. So, yeah, we are going to have so much fun. I'll tell you what, too much going on in here, but it's good. Not really, it's good stuff. Okay, so let me go ahead and roll you around. Oops, excuse me. Yep, all right. Let me roll you around. And that is my ceiling. All right. Hello, everybody that I missed. Sherry, Lila, Kathy, welcome. Who else did I miss? Okay, Lila, Sherry, Kathy. I always try and say hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So tonight we're going to have a quiet night. Oh my. Yeah, I'm still editing that video with Ruth Sanderson for YouTube to take out all the blips and glitches. It wasn't too bad, but oh my gosh, guys, 3.5 hours that she agreed to stay with us. Did I say hi to Sherry? Hi, Sherry. Hugs. Give me a hug back, Sherry. All right. Oh, I got the hug back from Sherry. I'm so happy. I saw that hug go by. Rita from Guatemala. Hello, Pearl. Hello, Julie. Hi, Julie. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get our coloring on. Got lots of projects as normal. Zoom in. Aha. Let's get my camera up going here. I'm anxious to see that, Lila. It looked like you had a really great start on it. Zoom in. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. I have, yeah. All right. So I am working on the Black Women Adult Coloring Book. I think she's turning out absolutely beautifully. So are you guys excited about Melba and Jeff coming in? Okay, you did the pearl drops, but they were almost dried. They dented even after I pounded the air out of the bottle. Did you tap on the bottom of the page as I showed you? Wait, they dented. What do you mean they dented? I don't understand. They dented on the page? Maybe you just didn't put enough on? You can peel them off and put them on again. And if anybody's wondering, Lila's talking about the liquid pearls. I ordered myself an extra bottle. Okay. They collapsed around the sides after they dried. That's weird. Do you have a picture that you can show me? Just send it to me in a text. Just send me a direct message and I'll look at it. Okay guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to work on the shading on the chest area. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my water-based marker, which is my Oh Hoo Hoo. Jeff was so funny. Hi Ronnie, he sent me a picture. He sent me a picture of his Oh Hoo Hoos that he got. He is so excited. Francisco, two things. This video goes, or I'm sorry, this live goes to video right in our Facebook group. So you can just look it up after the fact. And I put keywords on there. For example, when Ruth Sanderson was here last night, now I've got her name on it. And also I do upload them to YouTube. And the Ruth Sanderson visit, by the way, I will be editing out all the little blips that we had last night. So we'll have a really nice video of that visit. Oh man, she is such a sweetie. You know, guys, she is right in the middle of some major projects, and she spent 3.5 hours. And Morgan was so much fun. How did the eyeshadow? So Francisco, are you clear on that? It goes to, the live goes to video right in our group. And also it is on YouTube. It will be on YouTube when I load it up, upload it tonight. So Lila, how did that eyeshadow go for the faces? Did you like it? Okay, so what I'm doing, and Francisco, I know you're new, I believe. Don't hesitate to comment in the group. So welcome to everybody that's stepping in, that's chatting. And welcome to everybody in the balcony that's watching without commenting. We love you all. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, as you can see, is I'm going ahead and adding the shadow around the outside. Francisco, I gotta pronounce that. Francisco, where are you from? Okay. Now, again, remember, I have sprayed this with my Krylon Fixative. And when I put the marker on, I immediately blend it with my finger. Everybody see now how we're getting a really nice shadow around the breast area. Okay. So if you're new, don't be shy. I am really loving how this piece is coming out. I'll tell you what. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me do it for you. Obviously, I need to finish the hair. And then I use the metallic Arteza paint. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a little shade on the breast area. And my biggest hope is, I don't know, Francisco might have been accidentally booted. The number in the room dropped for some reason. We'll get them back. Okay. And guys, please don't be afraid to share. Well, not afraid. Please share this broadcast on your timeline so others can enjoy it. And please be sure to tell everybody. What's tomorrow night's video? What's that, Julie? You mean tomorrow night's broadcast so that you have it when I'm live? Okay. So now you can see how I've gone ahead. Oh, the video, okay. Yeah, when you say video, that just throws me because this is live and then it goes to video, but yeah. So you mean for the live that I do tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, you're fine, Julie, no problem. It just threw me a little bit. Yeah, some people color when I'm on, some people munch. Now, again, guys, notice how I can take my oh-hoo-hoos and add that shading that I want. And you can see how I'm bringing that brown into the skin a little bit to blend that in. And we've got some good cleavage on here, which is what I wanted. Okay. Oh, Sherry, that would be a good idea. Okay. Yeah, I say video too when I'm talking. Yeah, Pearl, it really is not difficult on skin color, and you can see I've done the darker. Okay. So the author went ahead and put some of these lines in here. So I'll go ahead and add those as well, that shading. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm about to get a boatload of books. Yeah, just be careful when you eat around it. Yeah, Julie, I've used the Crayola Colors of the World, and I don't like them. They're too waxy. Honestly, I'm probably going to toss them. I mean, it just so goes against me to toss pencils, and I never have. But they're so waxy, and they don't blend very well at all. Okay. There you go, Lila. Don't throw it out. It exercises your artistic abilities when you don't throw something like that out. The question is, how good are you saving something that you think isn't good? Yeah, the Crayola 120 is okay, yeah. And sometimes companies do that. They change their formulas for whatever reason. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and I'm adding my highlighting. And I'm purposely keeping you in a distant view so you can see how this overall is going to look. Now, if you're adding marker and you get a dark spot, which is what I just did, yeah, Pearl, I don't know what it is about that set, but I had high hopes for it, and I still haven't been able to bring myself to throw them out. But I keep trying to use them, and it's just not doable. I think Crayola really screwed up when they, well, it depends what their audience is. I'm not sure they expected higher end colorists to use them. No, Julia, it probably won't matter if it warms up. It's just the wax contact in them. Yeah, contact Crayola, I will too. Pearl likes them. That's cool. Okay, now, can you guys see how I'm going ahead and I'm staying pretty much on that outside line? And I'm just going to blend in just a little bit of the brown. Lila, that could be about getting duds. Oh, that's gorgeous. Now, if you put on your darker marker like I did, and you have a problem, if you smudge something or have to fix it, just go back over it with pencil. And I've got some white area around this metallic. I don't know how I managed that, but I'm just going to go ahead and shade that a little bit. Zoom in. Zoom in. Da, da, da. Oh, okay, Ronnie. You know, there's so many variables with pencils. It can be the paper that you're using. It could be the batch that came out when they were manufactured. And then there's personal preference of the person that's using them. Okay. Your Amazon guy was there today twice. Oh. Okay. So is everybody clear what I was saying, that if you accidentally put some dark markers someplace, you can go ahead and correct that with your pencil? And that's the same way as correcting with your, when you have streaks. Okay, so let me go ahead and get a little toning on the ear. And I want to make sure that everybody is clear and comfortable with doing skin and doing darker skin. Absolutely no different than doing lighter skin. The technique is the same. You just change up your colors. I love the metallic earring that I made with the Arteza metallics paints. Okay. So let me go up and work on the hand a little bit. Now this is where I took my Arteza white pen and I outlined the hand with it to get rid of that black line. And I'm now using that outside line as my blending point. Zoom in. And again, these are the Ohuhu water-based markers. I'll tell you, Ruth last night, it was so interesting when she was talking about the ways that she was doing her coloring books. Hello, Kristen. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a ton of new people joining in our group. Zoom out. And again, for anybody that's new, please do not hesitate to chat and say hello. And otherwise, I could just do YouTube videos, which I do. I mean, these go up to YouTube, but The whole point of being live is so we can talk. Okay. Zoom out. Oh man, isn't that pretty? And I showed you how to do this effect with the marker and the Arteza white pencil. Excuse me, pen. You know, Lila, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I had no idea that she was such a prolific illustrator and had illustrated over all those years those books. That just absolutely blew me away. So I'm going to add just a little bit of shading, excuse me, around the beads. You know her, Julie, from Cross Stitch? Yeah. I'm sorry, Kathy, I missed it. What have you been praying about, Miss Kathy? Oh, Kathy was praying for Lila and Richard. I got it. I got it. Okay. Yeah, I never had any idea about the cross stitch patterns and everything else that she did and does, and I'm glad, you know, and she seems so excited about coloring books. So that obviously is a benefit for us. Okay, so see how I'm adding just a little bit of tinting around the beads on her chest? All right. Dang, this is beautiful. Love how it's turning out. Love, love, love. Okay. And Ruth likes my work. That was pretty neat. She seemed to like it, so. And I didn't get the impression she was just saying that to play nice. Zoom in. When does she find time to sleep? You know, Ronnie, I need to ask her that because I was curious too. I suspect that she sleeps about the time that we were broadcasting is the time that she starts doing her work. So she works basically in the middle of the night. So I suspect that she sleeps a good portion of the day. Oh, and then to find out that Morgan was her daughter. Yeah, that surprised me too, and she didn't think the colorist didn't like the double-sided pages. Yeah, well, and you know, yeah, one image on 2 pages. So that's going to open up things for her too. That she found out that we like double-page spreads, but we don't like back-to-back pages. Okay. Exactly. About the fox print, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to darken this hair a little bit up towards the front. Just going to play with that just a little bit. Da, 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 da. Yeah, again, that just threw me, like I said, when she said Morgan was her daughter and I started laughing. That was so funny. Yeah, her face when she was told about breaking the spine and doing double pages, yeah. Well, look at it this way. Look how we helped Jeff Haney when he came into the group and we were talking about his coloring books and what we liked and what we didn't like. And then she's going to give me that book that has the American Indian in it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I kept saying, I don't forget that book, don't forget that book. I can see coloring in that with the story around it. And then for you guys that have children, coloring in the pages that are those storybooks and have those images, you color the images and give the kids the books after you read them to them. Okay, everybody see now how I'm darkening a little bit around the outside, and that's giving this a nice lighter look in the middle. And also see how I colored this area dark? Lila, that's exactly right, and that's what I was saying before my little choo-choo train got derailed here. Artists really need to come in and talk to us. And if they're willing to listen. Yeah, and what you guys don't know is that Ruth and I spoke for an hour and a half the day before on the phone, on FaceTime, and we were talking, and she was asking me about grayscale and, you know, this and that, and she really wanted to listen to, you know, what I had to say. Maria Waddell. Julie, the name's not coming to mind right now. She needs to text me. Okay. Zoom out. I'll tell you what, guys, you mark my words. This place is soon is going to be the place to be for artists. Oh, that's neat, Sherry. Okay, Julie. I would have to double check my texts. I don't think she contacted me. She just needs to reference you from this group so that I know. Sherry, that is so neat. The Christmas books as gifts to your grandchildren. I am extremely happy with this page. Okay. And you guys remember we used the brown undertones on this hair to give it a ton of dimension. So we've got the small braids and then the cornrows. Does anybody have any questions? Global Doodle Gems. Okay. Well, Lila, this is perfect because I've been wanting to do African American skin. And if any of you care to help the group, I have an Amazon wish list. Going over pencil with the marker, your marker doesn't pick up the pen. Nope, I don't have any problems with my markers going over the pencil. And what I do is, if it picks up any pencil, I just go ahead and clean them off on my paper towel that I always keep under it. Okay. Now, I said that I would finish this hair off camera, but a number of you have asked me not to do that. So it won't take long and we can chat away. Going over pencil with gel pens, that normally doesn't work. And it depends on the quality of the gel pens. You have to keep wiping the gel pens on a paper towel, which is fine if you don't mind doing that. Now, when you're doing this hair, you don't want to get too much of a pattern going with your darker black lines. The last thing that you want to do is get into a specific pattern with your hair. Zoom in. So notice right here I've got like a little black, darker, blacker area in the hair right here, and that's fine. Oh heck yes, guys, I will make use of anything that you gift to this group. I mean, sometimes it takes me a while to get to some of the books. Sherry, what happened with your African American? Ronnie, oh, you're welcome, Ronnie. I just loved it. Oh, and thought you all would too, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, this piece is just, And Lila, you're absolutely right, Sherry. You should have shown it to me first, and I probably could have helped you through it. Okay, but Sherry, first attempts are not necessarily going to come out to expectations. And I keep telling you guys that. You can't, thank you, Pearl. Stunning, she says. You can't expect things to come out 100% if you haven't done them before. This is a teaching group. If anything, Sherry, if you had posted it and said, I think I made a mistake here, or I had a problem here, what do you think? And then you could have gotten some constructive comments with it. Zoom out. Look at this, guys. Okay. And don't forget that if you want to find these videos of this previous piece, you just look under the title of the book or black hair. I think I put cornrows in the keyword description. So you go to the little search bar at the top, click on the magnifying glass and type the word keywords, Keywords. Okay, Sherry. Okay. Now I'm going to lighten up on the hair just a little bit near the earring. You're sounding like ILene right now, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I like it when you guys say, what I'm coloring. Now, what would ILene do? And the other thing I want you to keep in mind when you're coloring is, you know, like right now I'm going a little fast, but that's because I'm well aware of what I need to do. I don't want you to emulate my speed. Don't you dare throw that out. Listen, guys, you're your own harshest critics, and self-criticism stifles creativity. And again, what you think looks bad, others would look at and say, wow. Melissa, hello, Melissa. How are you? Now, do you guys notice that there's a few sweeps of this darker hair? You can see some subtle bands this way so that there's some light stuff in between. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Everybody see that? Well, Sherry, you have said yourself that you self-critique yourself very hard, and you have got to let that go. You really do. You're only going to set yourself up for failure if you keep doing that. I'm not stalling on this end, Lila. You may want to pop out and come back in again. Okay. Oh man, this piece, I love it. Now, also keep in mind that sometimes where the braids are, I'm allowing it to be a little bit bigger. So in other words, I'm not following every single break off point, I'm just coloring over. And that gives you the variety. Sometimes artists get locked up in patterns. Yeah, it's not on my end because I can see my hand moving clearly. So we're good. Okay, now I'm going to go a little bit darker on the hair that's right over the ear. Zoom in. And the reason that I'm doing that is I want a higher contrast of the ear. So it's just a subtle little change. Everybody see that? So I've made this just a little darker. Keep things like that in mind. So now I've got a really nice contrast that really makes this ear pop. And be absolutely sure that you keep your pencil sharp. Da, 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 da. And don't forget, keep turning your pencil, very important. And I'm putting a very, very light layer of that black now over the brown again. Zoom out. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, I got to do the hair over here. And I'm going to make this strand a little bit darker. Now, when you darken something, don't get stupid about it and just go at it full boat, right? You always want to change your tint colors in stages. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ronnie. And yes, she is. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I've got a little bit of hair here. Just coloring very, very lightly, but I am going to darken between the two strands so that we can go ahead and see those. And I've got a little bit of streak of brown here. Let's see what we can do to fix that. Zoom out. Okay, that picked up that brown a little more than what I like. And I can't erase it. So I'm going to extend that a little bit. So here's the problem, guys. For some reason, when I put the marker on here, I don't know if it's because I erased earlier, I don't know if some of the glitter glue got on it. I've got a streak of brown that I really can't get rid of with this marker. So I'm going to take a colored pencil. There we go. And I'm taking a light beige. And I'm trying to mitigate it as much as possible. Now, when you have a mistake like that, you've got one of two choices. Either try to get rid of it or you incorporate it. Julie, I don't do sugar skulls. I just don't. Yeah, always feels good to finish a piece, but at the same time it's sad. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I feel that about this. And again, zoom out, zoom out. I think she's done, guys. Ronnie, you're glad you're not the only one that feels what way? Oh, when something's finished, you mean? So I think I've got a good do on this young lady. And this is about the time that I start thinking about a border, maybe. Yeah, I am very happy with this. Gonna sneeze, excuse me. Okay. Now, any areas that you have some really weird marker marks, you can go ahead. I'm just taking a Crayola beige. See if I can show this to you. There you go. It's a Crayola beige. Yeah, I was maybe thinking about a black, but I'm afraid that would just distract from the hair. So if you have any wonky markings on your page from your markers, you can correct it with an overlay over the marker with your colored pencil. Not to mention the fact that it can help you with the blending if you've got some weird lines that are a little darker than normal. Yeah, maybe gold, we'll see. And see, this is dictated by the top of this page. I've only got a little teeny tiny bit of border, so that means the rest of it's going to be tiny unless I just cut this off at the bottom and make that tiny and, you know, leave the edges wide. Okay. So yeah, thumbs up on this one, guys. A nice light brown border would probably look good. Or I could do metallic on it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Pearl, and I'm thinking my Arteza metallic paints. There's one thing I want to work on a little bit here. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm not 100% happy with that nose ring. The perspective on it looks weird. Let's see what I can do on that. Cuter than a gnat on a bug's ear. Okay, so I may go ahead and just add a little definition to that nose ring. so I'm using a very, very thin pen. There we go. Yeah, it's just, this right side is weird. It should be going up into the nose a little more. So I'm going to add a little bit of edge. Yeah, it looks like it's going into a funny part of her nose. Exactly. So I'm going to narrow it down with my black pen a little bit. And then go over the top of it a little bit. Yeah, it's not that it's obvious, it's that it's just going up into the nose the wrong way, the way the artist drew it. So I knocked it down a little bit with the black. Yeah, it does. It looks like it's on the outside of her nose. And I really can't do anything to fix that. And I don't want to fuss with it too much. It's this part right here that's causing the problem. Oh well. I really don't want to do too much surgery on it. No pun intended. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Yeah, it may. Yeah. I'm just going to leave it. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to have you guys look at this for a minute. I'm going to trim this down to the proper size. I'll be back in a second. Yeah, I'm just not sure that I can pick away. Yeah, I'm not sure that I can pick away the material without it being a problem in the paper. Where that comes in. That's all right. I've minimized it as much as I can. All right. So let's go ahead and play with the border just a little bit. That's right, Sherry, you do. You gotta live with it. So I'm going to pick up, let's see, my Arteza metallics, and at this point I'm looking at the golds. Okay, I've got an Aztec gold and a bronze, and I think I'm going to go with the bronze. And the reason for that is that's going to match her eyes. So let me find that in my stash. Yeah, you guys just never know what you're going to get out of me. Let's see here. So bear with me a moment while I find my colors. I need to figure out a storage for my thingies. Yeah, I've got them in my box, but they're shorter than the width of the box. I need to find a box that's the same width. Cold. Yeah, you ought to see the rest of my studio. Not. There we go. Oh, man. Okay. All right. And so there's my bronze. And I'm going to put a little water next to, yeah, I need to find a way to organize them, you know, something that's a little smaller. Let's see, so I'm going to put a little bit of water in my little, right there. Yeah, I'll take a tube of my, Lila, I'll take a tube of my paints to the dollar store, and like you suggested, and okay. All right. So I've got a wider brush. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm just going to moisten my brush just a little bit. we've got the Dollar Tree. And as this dries, I'm probably going to, yeah, I know our sanders are missing. I'm probably going to have to do a second coat. Wanda's working, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, Wanda sure got a lot of kudos from Ruth, didn't she? I'll bet you she's on cloud 9. Okay. Now, you don't want to go too thin with your paint. Yeah, Wanda is so funny. You know, I've said this before, she was kicking and screaming about grayscale. And now look at her. Okay, so I'm laying my paintbrush pretty flat. To try and avoid streaks. Excuse my arm. Zoom out. Oh yeah, Sherry, that's really cool. And you guys can see how drop dead gorgeous this is starting to look again. I'm finding that the thicker the paint I use, the better. So I'm shying away from putting any more water on this. And if you get any streaking, that's just a matter of going over it again when it dries. Now, if you're using acrylics for the first time, it's an acquired taste, meaning you just got to play around with it a little bit as to what works, what doesn't, how much water, how much little water. And again, I'm using more of the flat of my brush than I am the tip. And if you have an oopsie like I just did right there, I just immediately took care of it with my finger. All right, let me move this. Zoom out. Everybody see how gorgeous that looks? Wow. Look at that shine. Okay. Good night, Miss Kathy. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Okay, let me glop a little more paint in here. Yeah, it does look like a portrait, doesn't it? Let me put this up here. Pan water paints? What's that? Good night, Kathy. Good night, Kathy. Good night, Kathy. Good night, Kathy. So glad you were here tonight. Oh, you meant the little pans. Okay. And what I want you guys to see is how all these little touches, which are not complex at all, make a really cool piece. So that's why I'm taking the time, extra time, to show this to you tonight. Zoom in. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to go off camera. Okay. Zoom out. See how that's looking? And again, I'll smooth out anything that's uneven in color. That's just a little bit of touch up. Yeah, not much paint in the pans. Yeah. Okay. We were just wondering about you, Sandra K. Zoom in. And again, I'll go over this and even out any rough spots here. Got it, Lila. Yeah, it's dried on my thumb, but yeah, I will watch. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, I bought a whole bunch of brushes from eBay. So if you find that your brush is getting glopped up and causing you to be a little messy with your accuracy, then just go ahead and grab a clean one. And use that. We get so in the habit of cleaning out the one that we're using, which is fine. If you change color, that's okay. But we don't think about it using it, switching out a brush for same color paint. I'm actually almost done with this border. Oh my gosh, it looks cool. Let me put a little more paint in my little palette. So I'm going to go ahead and get a fresh brush. Yeah, the brushes were like $7.95 or something like that, Lila, on eBay. Zoom out. Is this what you got? Okay. Yeah, they're pretty good. I like them. And again, if you're using metallic paints, don't be afraid of the thickness. Okay, and then we just got the top. Okay. And we are back to the beginning. All right, let me get that little white spot. Good night, Miss Melissa. Give me 2 seconds here and I'll show you this when I pull out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Isn't that gorgeous? So what do you think? Now, any areas where I have a little bit of light paint, I will go ahead and fix that. But what I want you to notice now is I chose a color that would match her eyes and would not interfere with the gold on her sleeve. So that's why I went with the bronze color. Isn't that beautiful? So really, except for a little bit of touch up on the border, I think we got a good do on this. I hope you like it, and I hope you learned something. So we're in pretty good shape with this one, guys. All right, let me adjust my camera. Questions, comments? No, I don't know. We'll see about her eyes. You think they're too white? Okay. I'll go ahead and tone that down a little bit. There, is that better? Hi, Katie. Okay, tone down. I'm going to go over it with an eraser. I have to blend this in because I had the popcorn. Okay, so we'll touch that up. There we go. All right, so I've got that white tone down just a little bit. Okay. So again, I will even out that paint, but I've used the metallic, and I think we've got a drop dead gorgeous picture here. So I'm going to get rid of these streaks on the acrylic, and then I'll do off camera. Okay, questions or comments on this before we put this little lady away? Love doing this project. And I really hope that you guys learned from this. That was a good one to do a project on. Okay. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into now. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh. You would hang that on a wall? Okay. Okay, this is from Best Dressed Pets. I've been working on and off with that, and I'd like to wrap that piece up. Having a lot of fun with this one as well. We'll get our little pug puppy done. I hope you guys have been enjoying this project as well. All right. Zoom in. Zoom in. So let's go ahead and get these leaves done. This happens to be a Tanmit, T-A-N-M-I-T, water-based marker. And remember, if you use the marker twice over an area, that's going to darken that up. So I did that on the outside, and then I'm just going to embellish a little more with my green pencil. Yeah, Vicky's conked out in the corner. And guys, please don't forget to share this. Okay. Yeah, you are slipping on your duty. You haven't mentioned at all about sharing this video. You feeling okay, Lila? Okay. Do. Yeah, don't forget to share Melba's upcoming event, and I'm about to post about Jeff as well. Now, if you notice that the ink is coming up a little bit when you put it on your marker, instead of rubbing it on, just tap it on, and that way, you're going to blot your color on, and that way you won't have that black coming up. Okay. Yeah, it was an engrossing picture, wasn't it? So I'm going to put some yellow marker on there. Let's see what we can do with this. Missed an area in my gold. So we'll do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put just a hint of orange in that yellow. I'm just going to spot it in there. So I'm not, see how I did that? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead to and we'll go ahead and put a contrasting color on here. little pearls. Yep. There we go. Zoom out. I've got so many mediums now that I can play with. Zoom out. So I think I'm going to, at least for the top, use my chalks. And I am inclined to go with a very light purple because I've got purple on the border. Let's see here. Need a fresh spongy. Oh, Dawn must be in the room. Like I said, I see you guys say hi before I see her. Hello, Dawn. So all you have to do is just chalk in your little areas. She threw a heart, did she? Okay, so see how light now this purple is. And again, we just want a really soft background. And because these sponge tip applicators are grippy the way they are, yeah, these are chalk pastels, Ronnie. My favorite, the Faber-Castells. So again, because these sponges are grippy, they grip the chalk beautifully and give a great blend. So you can see, zoom in, zoom in. I'm just going ahead and laying down the chalk in the lines and then spreading it with my applicator. Soft pastels are chalk pastels. It's an interchangeable term. It confused me too. Now, the really neat thing too, by applying the pastels this way, is you can see how it really gives like a swirly effect. Sometimes I use the knife to shave the pastel, the chalk onto the paper, and then I spread it. Tonight I'm just using direct application. Okay. That's right, what Lila said. You can scrape it onto the paper with the knife. You can rub the applicator on the pastel. You can rub the pastel directly on the paper like what I'm doing. So that's 3 ways right there to apply. Okay, so now I've got a really nice light pink, purple. Hello, Wanda. Good to see ya. I love that shiny paper that that person used. I'm thinking, oh no, more. No more. Zoom out. All right, everybody see how we're getting a really nice light application? And if you think that you got it a little too light, of course, just scratch on a little bit more and apply it in. And if you need to rub it with your finger, that's cool too. Okay. Now you got to be careful that you don't want to streak. And if you find out that because the paper you're using is streaking, then that's where you would go ahead and grab your knife and start shaving this this stuff on. Excuse me. So Wanda, this is what we ended up doing with the African American lady. So she's basically done, and I put metallic acrylic paint on the outside. I need to go back and touch it up just a little bit. but she's done. So there you go. Okay. Now, when you chalk on your pastels, guys, don't push hard into the paper. Because you want to avoid that streaking. It does not take much pressure at all. They're pretty crumbly. So if you are getting a lot of streaking, you're pushing too hard. Okay. Now, I've got a couple areas like up in this corner here that I missed, so I'm going to take the tip and I'm going to rub it on the chalk. And I'm just going to go ahead and use that tip just to get that small area. You can use a Q-tip as well, if you like. And then I'm going to get the area by the slipper. Right by the foot there, and in between. Okay. Now, if you notice, this whole piece is done with lighter colors. And that was done deliberately. This is done to accentuate the dog. Oh, I got a couple more areas here. Hold on. So I'm going to use the tip of my Q-tip, zoom in, and I'm going to rub it on my chalk. And this is the Q-tip that's got the point. And I'm going to go ahead and purple up these areas in between the crown. So this is how you get accurate application. There you go. Okay. Now, I have two options here. I want to go ahead and add a little bit of shadow to give this some depth. So again, I'm using the tip of my applicator and I'm going right around the outside here. And the reason that I'm deciding to use the chalk is because I want a very light look. And I'll go ahead and darken up a little bit in between here. And again, I'm just using my tip. And I'm just smudging with my finger. And you can see how cool that's starting to look. So I'm almost using the tip of the Q-tip like a paintbrush applicator. And it works beautifully for that. And you really don't have to smudge very much because it comes in really well. So I'm going to darken that area here. And I want you to see how far this applicator goes. See how I'm able to bring it around quite a bit with that? And that was just one application to my chalk. And then just a little bit of a smear with my finger. So a little bit of chalk goes a long way. I want you to see how far this will apply. Wanda, no new announcements really. We've got Jeff coming in. Melba's coming in Tuesday. Zoom out. So everybody see how soft this looks? And again, see how far this chalk goes when I'm going down? I mean, I started up here and it's working all the way down here. And you want to be sure to hit this with your finger because you don't want any hard lines. You guys are awfully quiet tonight. Let's see. And I want you to notice how relatively promptly I'm doing this. And that's because you don't want it to look like too much of a precise application. You want to give it that free look. So I'm just smudging in my purple. Got a little bit of too harsh line right here, so fix that. Really, guys, all you want to do with this is just suggest the shadowing, okay? That's really what's going on here. Okay. Cool. I think Ruth had a wonderful time with us. Okay. So I'm going to get another pointy applicator. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, Wanda, I was saying earlier that I was absolutely gobsmacked when she was talking about all the stuff that she did previously in her art. Good grief. All those books she illustrated. That was so cool. Excuse me while I get a little water. Okay, so I'm going to rub my applicator. Ronnie, are you still in the room? I'm going to rub my applicator directly on the chalk, and you can also rub it on the side of the applicator and just get into those small areas. And then I'm going to go ahead and rub that with my finger. And you can be surprisingly accurate with eyeshadow applicators. I'm sorry, chalk applicators using the makeup applicators. I'll try this again. Chalk pastels using makeup applicators. Well, Ruth took out a lot of valuable time to be with us because she's pressing for deadlines. So I decided to go with the darker blue on the bottom. And again, you can just use the edge of your applicator. I'm just using the edge of the teardrop end. And getting all that chalk blended in. Okay. All right. Oop, got a little area I missed. Right in between the tail there. So I'm going to use the tip of my applicator and get that in. And again, guys, this is how accurate you can be with it. And don't worry about any crumblies that fall to the side. You just brush those away. Okay. Now, I see a little area up here at the top that I want to get some of my purple darker. There we go. And then inside the bow, I need to do a little bit of shading on that. And then I'm ready to add and underneath the ears, it's a double one. It's called nail tease, and one end has the sharp end point and the other has the paddle end. So no, it's not the regular Q-tips. Okay. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gold marker in there. And then I'm going to come back with a little bit of brown to outline that. Actually, I'm going to spread that brown inside the ear, see? And that'll give that a little bit of dimension here. Okay. Zoom out. Okay, sure, go ahead and share it, Wanda. absolutely. And then underneath that bow, I need to get that green in there. And I'm going to go ahead and shadow it a little bit with the same marker. There you go. All right. So I think I'm ready to the point that I can do the pearls. Oh, yeah, okay. Did you hear me, Wanda? Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and share whatever you want to share. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this little puppy, which means I need to turn my studio fan on. And I'll let that sit for a second. And I'm going to put my chalks away. Okay, so when you were working on your mom picture for the contest, mum picture, I put the black pastel down. I erased the spots where the black went over the lines on the leaves. Then I sprayed with the fixative. Some of the black that looked like I had erased it showed back up after spraying. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my liquid pearls. Zoom in. So it appears to have made the spots darker after the spraying. Okay. I've noticed that when I spray where I've used pastels, that the colors are a little bit richer. So, yeah, you got to be careful of that. I just honestly didn't give it any thought, to tell you the truth. Okay, so I blobbed a little bit, so I'm just going to pick up some of this pearl stuff and put it on there. Actually, I'm just going to wipe it off. There we go. Okay. Yeah, but that's a good cautionary tale, is that once you put down the pastel and you go to erase it from somewhere, that fixative may pull up the color a little bit. And that's what Wanda's telling us. Okay. So I have a little bit of the tail that's coming off to the side on a couple of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that up with my toothpick. Now, let me reapply this because I got my hand in it. There we go. And then what I'll do is, just in case there are any peaks, I'm just going to go ahead and tap it from the back. Oh, that silver and gold must look fantastic. And if that peak is still being a little troublesome, just tap it with your toothpick. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the larger pearls. And don't forget to allow for a little bit of spread. What is the purple on her skirt? A mistake, I'll erase it. Okay. Hopefully that'll erase. And Lila, that might have been it, that it had air bubbles, because it should have set perfectly. And I'll work on that purple spot when I'm done tonight. Okay, so there are the perfect little pearls on the crown. Now, because I've got some of these little, hold on, let's see what we can do. The pug spilled juice on her tutu. That's it. Okay, so I've got these pearls now that are in the multi sizes. Let's see here. And actually what I'm thinking of doing is maybe just going ahead and doing the multicolors. I think that'll look kind of cool. Because that will pick up the stuff that's in the picture itself. Yeah, I think that's going to look cool. Now, what I'm going to do though, on this last pearl, I'm going to go ahead and use a liquid pearl. My liquid pearl, because this last pearl is smaller. So let me show you this little trick. So this last pearl is basically at an angle, and it's tinier. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. I squeezed it on there, and then I'll tap it down. So that it's not too high. So there's a little trick for you. And then I'm going to go ahead and, so if you run into that where the artist has drawn in the smaller necklace pearl or something smaller and you can't quite match it, use your liquid pearl. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and just dollop my glue on here. And start in with my colors. So I hope that's an idea for you if you run into the same situation. And then another little trick too is if you have a dollop of glue somewhere, I'm using a toothpick, is just go ahead and put a teeny tiny bit of glue on your toothpick, and then you can pick up your pearls with it. Yeah. Does that make sense to you guys of what I'm talking about here? So I'm able to pick up that pearl with the slightly sticky toothpick and then just put it where I need to put it. There you go. Zoom out. Now on that liquid pearl, I'm going to go ahead and bump up that a little bit just to match the other ones. There we go. Cool. Zoom in. There you go. So yeah, I think we got a good do on this one. I've got the light colors that I wanted. I sprayed before putting on my doodads. Zoom out. Zoom out. I think we're really in good shape with this. So I got everything I wanted. Everything's light. I got the light swishy purple as the background. What do you guys think? And again, if you're not hip on the picture, you know, that's fine. It's the methods that I wanted to show you. Oh, yes she does. That one was trying to get away. All right, guys, I think we're in good shape with this. So we textured the fur when I put the oil pastel on it. Penciled in, colored in the face with the pencil. So there's two different mediums right there. Alcohol markers for the tutu. And I'll do something with that little oopsie there. I'll see if I can color it over. Excuse me for reaching in front of you. But if I don't tape these closed right now, they will be, I guarantee you, all over the place. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And as always, I hope you guys learned something. All right, guys, I'm going to call it an evening. Evening. Lots of fun showing you stuff tonight. So we've got our lady, African American lady. And we've got our little pug ballet. All right, guys, you take care. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, joyous coloring, as always. Wanda, glad you could make it. All right, guys, you take care. Bye.